Sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.
Hey folks, it's Friday, May 8th, 2015, and today we've got another Subohm tank review, this time thanks to Avenue 40. And they are our official wholesale supplier, and Jack, the guy I deal with on a day-to-day basis, he is the co-host of the Jack and John Show. And don't think we forgot about it. Jack's been just very, very busy in some new projects, including the opening of a brand new building that is like 3 times the size of the old one. So he's been tied up, but we're going to have it soon. Anyway, I will be back to talk about the VCT Pro Subohm tank by SMOK Technology right after this. And I am back. Hey, I'm going to get straight to it, believe it or not. Yeah, I can hear the audience. Yeah. The SMOK VCT Pro is as an upgrade or the next iteration. You never know with these guys, whether the Pro is just a correction like the Inokin MVP3 and the MVP3 Pro, which are identical devices except for minimum resistance and wattage output. So the VCT Subohm and the VCT Subohm Pro tank, I believe they're pretty much the same, except for resistance and things like that. So anyway, first thing to get off that you should know about, get off my chest. Yeah, the first thing you should know, and I got to get off my chest, is that the coils in this VCT Pro by SMOK are dual vertical coils. Now, dual vertical coils work extremely well for the Subohm category, but they take a lot of wattage. And this is only a Subohm tank, folks. This is not like the Delta 2 and others. This does not go above 1 ohm. As a matter of fact, the lowest resistance is 0.2 and the highest is 0.6. So this really is a Subohm tank, and if you want to use it, you're going to have a device that is capable of working with Subohm tanks. Now, if you come down here, let me turn on my machine, you will see the SMOK Subohm Pro hooked to the SMOK X Pro 80. I thought that was apropos of the review. And first, let's take a look at the tank itself. This is, out of all the tanks, I mean, a lot of tanks, well, put it this way. If you score on a scale of 1 to 10, and the Delta 2, which is my personal favorite, and I'll explain a little bit more of that in a moment, let's say that is a 10, then everything else is between a 7 and a 9.99, you know what I mean? So they're all pretty close. So it becomes more of a matter of aesthetics than it does production of vapor. Maybe flavor production's got a little bit more play in there, but for production, they're all very, very close to each other. So it becomes more about aesthetics. Now, for me, the VCT Pro is a very, very attractive tank. It's got some of these grill lines that remind me a little bit about the Stratus Council of Vapor Subohm tank, or actually tank. It goes above 1 ohm too. So it's got these nice little grills there. It has double O-rings here and here. It's got a very, very wide open airflow control down here. It uses the dual slots, and you can get a very, very tight draw or a very, very wide open draw there. So and at the top, if you look at the top, you can also see that it has an airflow controller at the top. Now, unlike the Atlantis 2, this comes off completely, so you don't have to use it. And if you wanted to use, say, a Redesigned tank, drip tip, you can use it. And that really is the smart way to go about it. I wish Aspire would have thought that way with the Atlantis 2. But anyway, I like this. And however, when working with this thing, I'm going to put this down. From working with the thing, you'll notice you're going to have to take the drip tip off in order to change the airflow control, which is no big deal, guys, really, seriously. But for this review, I'm going to shut this down because to me, there is such a thing as getting too much airflow. Although this does a good job of cooling the vapor down or warming the vapor up. But anyway, so here's the box. And the box is packaged a little bit like the Kanger sub tank, except it doesn't have a slide out drawer. It does have the sleeve, nice sophisticated sleeve there with the photograph. And you get, don't let your cats have this, folks. Always throw this away, which is what I'm going to do right now. And inside there is, it's kind of a tall box for what it is. You know, I'm kind of a high box, but you get an extra glass tank. I refuse to say Pyrex because none of these guys use Pyrex. Okay, this is a glass tank, and an extra glass tank, and an extra coil. And the one in my device is a 0.2 ohm coil, and this one is a 0.6. I've already got juice in my coil, so I will open this. Excuse me, can't futz with it, and take a look at it. This has some nice e-liquid slots in this thing, so I'm very impressed. If you can take a look at the top there, I'll see if I can in post edit bring that up a little bit more. But I want to stay within my focus area, and but you can see the nice. You can see the dual coils in here. In a vertical position, wrapped with a nice 100% organic Japanese cotton, and there is plenty of e-liquid absorption through this cotton. So I'm very happy about that as well. Okay, fine. And then underneath, they generously supply you with some extra O-rings. Notice that the O-rings are black, but you can substitute red ones if you so desire, or when it comes time to switch out an O-ring, by using a red O-ring, you know which ones you have already switched out if you don't want to switch them all out. You know what I'm saying? So I have yet to have an O-ring need to be replaced, so that's just something to think about. I don't know why. Okay, so come on back up here. All right, so that's pretty much it. You know, it's no big deal. It's not hard. It's easy to use. It fits all of the specs that we expect, and it's attractive. So I'm going to keep the drip tip on that it comes with, which, thank goodness, it's not even all metal. I mean, you know, it looks like it looks like perhaps SMOK was looking at me saying, you know, which some people might actually do a review and think they have any input, but they're looking at me and said, hey, we should design a tank for John. And believe me, if I really thought that way, I'd have myself committed. But you know what I mean? But it's attractive, and it fits my sensibilities. So the only thing that's left to do is to give it a vape. I am going to start out at 50. Come on back down here again. I'm going to start out at 50 watts because it is registering as a 0.21 on this one. I had it on a vapor flask, and it was registering as 2.2, and I had it on an IPv4, and it was registering as a 2.1, but it is supposed to be a 2.0. But, I mean, does it really matter all that much? I don't know. Maybe to some people. So come on back up here. We'll start off at 50. I'll see how high I can go with this guy before it starts to get uncomfortable for me. So, and maybe I'll even open up the air, the drip tip airflow and see what happens there. So let's give it a go. Nice flavor. Really nice flavor. Yeah, I'm digging that. And vapor's good, but the vapor is definitely cool. And so we'll bring it up a little bit. Unfortunately, you guys might hear a delivery truck coming in, so hopefully they know to just come on into the foyer and drop stuff off. So we're going to take this up to 60 and give it a shot. Let's do a little 60 here. What's happening? Much warmer vapor, but no, wait a minute. Let me take that back. Warmer vapor, not much warmer vapor, but warmer vapor and a deeper flavor. So that's good too. Listen, they're not. I'm sorry, but they're not gonna do this. They're not gonna walk in and leave it in the foyer. So I'll be right back. I've got to answer the door. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm sorry about that. We had a delivery. There's nobody here, but it was a couple of kind of heavy packages of new stock for the staff and for giveaways. Coils for the Eagle One and the Arctic sub tank, all that stuff, and some more tanks and stuff like that. So sometimes I think we could easily go into business here as an online vendor, but God, I wouldn't want the nightmare. Okay, so anyway, we're back, and I vaped this at 60 watts, correct? And it was a warmer vapor. It was a thicker vapor. The flavor was really good. I think we've got some competition here, folks. So I'm going to do the 60 one more time because it was about 5-6 minutes since I left. So I want to remind myself of what was going on. And then we'll try 65 and then 70. Very nice tank. A very, very nice tank. Now, I'm going to open up the drip tip now and bring some air into the drip tip. See how that works in cooling it down. It works. It cools it down. It's a little bit too airy for me, but you know what? It also changes the flavor profile. It gives it almost... well, let's say you were vaping a marshmallow flavor, it would give you almost a toasted marshmallow flavor. You know, not burnt, but kind of a toasted marshmallow flavor. It's the best way I can do to describe it. So I'm going to keep this closed for the duration. Let's take it up to 65. No, 65, John. God, don't get in a hurry here. We have all day. All right. So here we go. 65. Man, this is nice. This is really nice. This is about the perfect temperature for me. It's I would say it's probably 20% higher, 20% warmer than it was at 60. Maybe 15%, maybe. The flavor is just as good. Nice, deep, rich flavor. This is cool. I may have to incorporate one of these into my daily vape life. All right, so let's try and get it to 70 and see what happens. I'm going to turn my bottom camera back on. And just to show you that we are going to do 70, and not that you wouldn't believe me. I mean, you know, I wouldn't lie to you, right? But come on down, and we'll get it in position. As you can see, that's 70. And let's check it out. It is still reading 2.1 ohms, so that's good. You know, sometimes they can change. Let's do 70. Really quite nice, and it's not too warm. I'll tell you what, though, if I had a metal drip tip on here, I'm sure my lips would be burned. because even the plastic is starting to get warm at 70. Excellent. 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 You know, at 70 watts, you know this sucker's going to burn through I shouldn't say burn, vaporize a lot of e-liquid at that. And drain your batteries real quick. But let's take it to 75. I still have a little bit of play here. Come on down here, and we'll do 75, as you can see. And we'll see if this thing can do that. Oh, this is where somebody like Nick, Joey, Tom, they would like it at this level. It's still not too warm for me. I tell you what, if it was wintertime and I was back home where I belong, this probably would be where I would vape it at if I was outside in the cold. Very nice. Very, very nice. And this is the first 0.2 ohm coil in tank that I've ever been able to get up to 75 and feel comfortable with it. That may have to do with the metal drip tips that come with most of these. So, I don't know. One more time, I'm going to go back on my word. I'm going to open up the drip tip again and to see what 75 does before I take it to 80. Cools the vapor substantially. Probably got about 97, 98% of the flavor that it had when this thing was closed up. So let's close it back up. Let's come down here and let's see if I can get this all the way up to 80. 80 watts. 0.2 SMOK VCT Pro. Brought to you by Avenue 40. I have to get that in. Still, it's a very warm vapor, a lot of flavor, but you know what, guys? This is amazing. This works really well. I gotta tell you, this is a great tank. This is a great tank. Now, all right, I'm gonna do one more hit. Then we're going to take a short break. I'll give you a little bit of Smoke and Joey in there. And then I'll come back with my short, brief commentary. Hey, Rudy. Nice. I'll be right back. And I am back. I hope you enjoyed that little Smoke and Joey commercial. He's a good guy. Hey, we're going to be in Pittsburgh on June 12th and 13th for the VCC. We'll have a booth there. Come on out and say hey. And maybe we'll do some giveaways and some other stuff. Rudy keeps looking at me. He's going, who the hell are you talking to? Rudy, come on, bud. Come here. You want to say hello? Rudy is my... he was the fourth cat to come into our lives from the 5 that we do have. Rudy and Gracie were ferals. They lived outside for about 4 months. Still kittens, but they lived outside for 4 months. We had to keep them in an extra bedroom for 4 or 5 days before they would calm down. And now they're the most lovable cats. Anyway, I'm getting okay. All right, now my commentary as it slides across here. All right, my commentary today is not politics. We still are working on building that database of where people stand. If anybody wants to help with that, give us send us an email. Send an email to Dave at admin@spinfuel.com. And if you want to pitch in and do that, we want to really track them all the way through to the election in November of 2016. But anyway, my commentary today is about all of these sub-ohm tanks. Now, I have drawn a line in the sand or drop the gauntlet, or however you want to say it, that my favorite tank is the Delta 2. Even after today's very, very successful experience with the SMOK VCT Pro, it is still my go-to tank. It is the best tank on the market. I already told you the negatives of it's hard to fill. It's difficult to fill, not hard to fill, but difficult to fill. It's getting easier for me, and one of the reasons why is because my buddy at Vape Dudes, Chris, has now started to ship my all-day vape in 100 ml bottles for me with a kind of a dripper that is a lot easier to fill. So that does that. But with all of these tanks, let's imagine that you've got an entire pie. Imagine a pie, and when the Atlantis shipped. Was the first pure sub-ohm tank with its half-ohm coils. That's all they shipped, was the half-ohm coil. They had the pie, okay? Then the next one up was the Delta 2. The next one up was the Arctic. And then there was sort of a kind of a breather for a couple of weeks, and then the floodgates opened, and everybody and his brother started putting out sub-ohm tanks. And now we probably have 15 to 20 of them. We've done several reviews here. We have more coming in. So it is a battle, and you know, everybody has a right to try to take a slice of the pie, I guess, or to establish a slice of the pie. But I think if they're going to do that, they really need to put their best foot forward, and that means not rushing something to market just to get some of that gold that fell out of people's pockets onto the road in Vapelandia, and put out the best that they can. And I don't feel like that many companies are doing that. I know that the companies that I enjoy, Joyetech, and definitely SMOK with this puppy, and a couple of others are doing really good jobs at putting quality products out. But there is a lot of stuff out there that ranges from $30 to $40, $43 that, man, they're just not worth it. You know what? I should back up a little bit. That Kanger sub-tank, I'm looking at a bookcase full of them over here. They came out right after the Atlantis tank, so I needed to correct a little history there. And they're doing quite well, and they're doing quite well because they come out with, you know, of various sizes and things like that other people don't do. Atlantis with the Atlantis Mega now, I guess they're doing that. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. Be careful, okay? And don't just listen to one reviewer. Don't read one review and make up your mind, or watch one review and make up your mind. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I need to get it out there because this is not throwaway money. This is real money to most of us, and sometimes we reviewers forget that we get all of this stuff in all day long, every day, and it doesn't cost us anything. And we might have a tendency to forget that all of you guys pay good money. And if you buy the wrong tank, that's 30, 35, 40 bucks, you know, gone, that you'll never get back. And so just be careful. But my bottom line on the VCT Pro from SMOK is this is one hell of a tank. If there is a negative, I would say that the only negative that I can tell so far is that the bottom piece doesn't screw into the tank. It's put in by two O-rings. I would prefer it to have a nice smooth threading, but you know, unless it starts leaking later on, it doesn't really matter. But definitely a heads up on the VCT Pro. I'm going to be very interested to see. I haven't looked at any other reviews out there on this one, and I'm sure there are already several of them. Be interesting to see their take on it because, you know, I know a lot of people, they have different opinions, and some of them are honest opinions, and some of them are other kinds of opinions. But great. This is a great tank. And that's it for me today. I will see you maybe over the weekend. And we're going to start doing some more giveaways. And we are very close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So as soon as we get there, Provari P3 or an equivalent in value. So that's it for me. Have a good weekend. I am out of here. Come here, Rudes. Come here, Rudy.